Yo, internet, we got ourselves a patch that just kind of dropped by surprise. I'm going to say surprise patch, but words are hard, and I literally just woke up. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened here. I did go ahead and read this before, starting the recording, so I know a little bit of it, but let's actually talk about it in details and what I think it means for the state of Pokemon Unite going forward. And I do believe this is just in the game right now, so that's pretty cool. Expect a lot of videos on the buffed and nerfed things and potentially a stream later tonight, so should be fun. Although today is going to be not a great one for me. So let's go ahead and just start things off by looking at Tyranitar. So Tyranitar, it's a Pokemon that a lot of people like to say is good, and a lot of people would be wrong, but they went ahead and buffed the heck out of it because, why would they buff a good Pokemon? We'll get to that in a minute. So Tyranitar gets stat increases to its defense, special defense, and HP. So Tyranitar becomes way more tanky. So that's really good. That in itself is already a buff to the Ancient Power build, which didn't get affected. So that's pretty cool. But they did buff both Sand Tomb and Stone Edge. The effects on Sand Tomb have been strengthened, and the duration of the effects have been increased, and the cooldown was also adjusted. So less cooldown, more damage, and more duration. So I guess you'll probably take more damage of time, or like something with the pool, maybe. Either way, nice buff. Thank you for that, Windows. I really appreciate it. And then Stone Edge, the time for the move to activate has been shortened, so you can spam Stone Edge a little bit easier. I think that'll probably be decent. Stone Edge does okay damage, but the problem is it's nearly impossible to hit on any mobile target. I still think they should just do what they did with Charizard ages ago, which you used to not be able to move when casting Flamethrower, similar to how you can't move when you're casting Stone Edge. If you just made it so you can move while casting Stone Edge, the move would be incredible. So yeah, I still think that's what Stone Edge really needs, but this is a step in the right direction, just making Stone Edge not one of the absolutely worst attacks in the game, and something that just truly never gets picked. But I like these buffs for Tyranitar. It's just got a lot more tanky, and that makes it really fun. So moving on to Delphox, we had some nerfs here to Fire Spin. The duration of effects on opposing Pokemon has been decreased, and the cooldown has been lengthened. So Delphox, definitely one of the worst attackers in the game, if you ask me, and people who can't read in my comment section, another just thing we're not going to talk about. Oh boy. But yeah, Fire Spin is one of the best crowd control moves in the game, and lengthening the cooldown on that is fine. Cooldown nerfs don't really do anything, but the effects of it being decreased is potentially nice as well, meaning you probably get spinned for less time, so that's good. Not quite as annoying to go up against that Pokemon now. And then the cooldown for Fire Blast and the damage for Fire Blast have also been decreased, I guess increased for the cooldown. You know what I mean? They both got nerfed. So yeah, Fire Blast nerf as well. So Mystical Fire Flame Charge is totally back. That's what I'm getting here. I love that build anyway. It's one of my favorite builds in the game. So that's what we're taking from this. This one, I just straight up don't understand. I understand parts of it, but I don't understand a lot of it. So the following stats for Mew have been decreased. They lowered its special attack. The damage for its boosted attack has been further decreased, and the Unite move's damage has been even further decreased. I can understand lowering the special attack a little bit. You want to nerf the boosted attack damage more? Sure, that's fine. Why are we nerfing this Pokemon's Unite move? I don't understand why we are nerfing Mew's Unite move twice. This is the second time they've lowered the damage on Mew's Unite move. It was never a problem, the damage on the Pokemon's Unite move, and they've nerfed it twice now. I don't understand that. The boosted, fine, yeah, it's a little bit overpowered, a little bit broken, and then, special attack, just nerfing the character all around. That's cool. Mew's really, really good in high-level play. Fine in solo queue. The problem with Mew is it's really hard to farm on. It's really hard to get levels on. So oftentimes you'll see a Mew at level 10 going into Ray Fight in your solo queue game. So I think Mew is just going to be even more irrelevant in like solo queue. But if you do run into a really good Mew player, they'll still dominate, because Mew players are just some of the best players in the game, because Mew is very hard to be good at. And if you're good at Mew, you're still going to be good at Mew. So this doesn't really affect the high-end players too much. It just means they'll pick something else probably in competitive play. But it does affect your random solo queue Mew who is already doing nothing. So yeah, I don't love these nerfs. This I do love though. This is something I've been wanting for a very long time. So Blastoise Hydro Pump, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased. Thank you. Hydro Pump is one of the most overpowered moves in Unite. Nerfing that is nice. And they also nerfed the effects on opposing Pokemon. So yeah, you nerf the damage and you nerf the amount of stun. Oh my god, Blastoise might be balanced now. At least a little bit, maybe, potentially. They also lowered the damage on Water Spout, and they lowered the damage on Water Gun early game. So yeah, Blastoise has a weaker early game now, but Water Gun will still probably be good. They didn't really touch its boosted attacks. They didn't touch Surf. They didn't really touch Rapid Spin. So they didn't nerf a ton about it. They didn't nerf its Unite move. So yeah, Blastoise, I think it's still going to be incredible. One of the best Pokemon in the game, but this is a step in the right direction, getting some nerfs to the crowd control on Blastoise, and then a little bit of a damage nerf as well to Water Spout. Water Gun, sure, whatever, that's fine. But thank you for nerfing Hydro Pump. Can we nerf Surf next, please? All right, moving on to Gyarados. The cooldown for its Unite move has been lengthened. That's fine. Its Unite move is really good. Gyarados is underratedly really like borderline broken right now, so nerfing something about it is fine. I would have preferred maybe its auto attack damage or something to do with Dragon Breath get a little bit of a tweak, but this works too. It's fine. Glaceon, this is another one I'm very, very happy about. They finally didn't buff Glaceon for no reason. They nerfed Glaceon for a lot of reasons. So they nerfed both Ice Shard and Icicle Spear. So Ice Shard, the effects on the user are weakened. So basically, I'm assuming you don't get your stacks built up as fast anymore, or you don't get whatever the attack speed increase is. So that's a little bit less now. And then Icicle Spear, the damage out to opposing Pokemon decreased. Thank you. I'm assuming it's just by actual individual spear and not what we all want, which is damage fall off. Like, you shouldn't be taking the same amount of damage close up as you take like 50 feet away when you're running away from Glaceon. They need to, just make that a thing, because you know how they have it where Decidueye's arrows do more damage the other way. Same thing with Inteleon Snapshot, like those things. They could do like the opposite for Icicle Spear. That'd be really cool. And for Mew Boosted even, does more damage the further away it is. Like, we have Icicle Spear do less damage the further away it is. That's something we've needed for a while. But here we have our patch winner, because this is another Pokemon that just straight up did not need a buff. Just did not need one. Metagross gets buffs pretty much all around. So they buffed Gyro Ball, which was already unbelievably good. So the damage dealt to it, opposing Pokemon, increased on Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball was already phenomenal. And then they went ahead and buffed Zen Headbutt as well. The damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased on that move as well. I'm not a huge Zen Headbutt believer, but if it's going to get a damage buff, yeah, you best believe it's going to be played more. And then Compute and Crash, the damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased on its Unite move. Yep. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're buffing Metagross. So Metagross is the patch winner. Metagross is the best character in the game. Metagross is the best all-rounder right now. I don't even need to see anything else. Metagross wins. Metagross wins. Metagross wins. Cramorants. I like Cramorant buffs. We love Cramorant buffs around these parts. Dive's cooldown has been reduced, and the damage dealt to opposing Pokemon on Hurricane has been increased. So that's cool. More dives means more damage with that, and then more damage with Hurricane is cool. Hurricane's already really strong. Dive Cram is already one of the most skill-intensive, like outplay heavy Pokemon in the game, so being able to do more things with Dive makes the character just better. So yeah, nice buffs for Cramorant. We like to see Cramorant buffs around these parts, and that's going to be one of the first Pokemon I play probably, other than Metagross, because I'm just going to go get my free Elo, because this thing is going to get emergency nerfed, at least hopefully, because yeah, it's broken. And next up we have Decidueye Leaf Storm getting buffed. Okay, don't know why we're doing that. It desperately needs it. It's one of the worst moves in the game. Effects on opposing Pokemon strengthen, and then damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increase. So a damage buff and a stun buff to Leaf Storm. Maybe in the right scenario, you could play this move still. Like, I think it's incredibly situational to even begin to consider playing Leaf Storm. But, if it's going to get some nice buffs to it, and like if the numbers are like significant enough on it, maybe this makes it better than Shadow Sneak. But just the even little bit of extra mobility you get from Shadow Sneak is worth it, and also being able to check bushes with Shadow Sneak, that is incredibly valuable. So I don't know if it's worth picking it over Shadow Sneak on either build. Speaking of either build, Razor Leaf's cooldown got reduced. Yep, that's what we have there. Please Spirit Shackle. Okay, and then finally, this is another one that just this is a head scratcher. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing? Do we not remember the Mewtwo meta? Do we not remember what you guys created when you allowed this Pokemon to run wild previously? Thankfully, we don't have to deal with Mewtwo's, but what if in the next patch, in the next season, EXs aren't banned? And then all of a sudden, we're dealing with it again. So yeah, we buffed Helping Hand Safeguard Blissey for absolutely no reason. The build was fine. The build was fine. You didn't need to do this. What are we doing? Why did we do this? I don't want to go through it again. But overall, I'd say a pretty big W of a patch. Some questionable things, like I don't know why we're buffing I don't know why we're buffing Blissey at all. I don't know why we're buffing Metagross at all. Could have just left those two Pokemon alone, and this would have been one of the best patches ever. But I do like that there is more stuff getting done. I like this is a pretty big patch in terms of number of Pokemon adjusted. I would like to see a little bit more in future patches, but this is pretty good. Some lesser played stuff getting buffed, like I see Razor Leaf too often, but I also see Leaf Storm too often, but those moves getting buffed is fine. Cramorant getting a buff, it's been forever since Cramorant got a buff. I'm cool with that. Some problematic Pokemon got some big nerfs in Glaceon and Blastoise. Mew got nerfed again for some reason. Delphox, you know, whatever. And then Tyranitar gets a huge buff. So overall, I'd say pretty big win of a patch, and it's going to be a fun one. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this one. Let me know what you think the patch winner and loser is, and I will catch you all in the next one. I'm going to have a Goodra video going out about an hour or two from now, because spoiler alert, I did it again. And then we're going to have some streams potentially later tonight. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.